Hi guys, today we're exploring 10 breathtaking places you absolutely have to visit in New Zealand. We're talking about glowworm caves that look like entire galaxies underground, mountains so dramatic they became Middle-earth and the Lord of the Rings, fjords carved by ancient glaciers, beaches with natural hot springs beneath the sand, and adventure towns where people jump off bridges for fun. New Zealand may look small on a map, but this country packs more unreal scenery into 2 islands than almost anywhere else on Earth. Let's start it. Number 1, Queenstown. Queenstown is the adventure capital of the world, and honestly, this place feels like pure adrenaline surrounded by mountains. Set beside the crystal-clear Lake Wakatipu and backed by the dramatic Southern Alps, Queenstown is where people come to bungee jump, skydive, jet boat through narrow canyons, and ski some of the best slopes in the Southern Hemisphere. But even if you're not chasing adrenaline, the scenery alone is worth the trip. Ride the Skyline gondola above the town for panoramic views that genuinely don't look real, or take a cruise across the lake while snow-covered peaks rise in every direction. And then there's the food scene, cozy restaurants, lakeside cafes, and the legendary Fergburger, where people literally line up around the block for burgers at midnight. Queenstown is wild, beautiful, and impossible to forget. Number 2, Milford Sound. Milford Sound is one of the most jaw-dropping natural places on Earth. Massive cliffs shoot straight out of dark water while waterfalls pour hundreds of meters down rainforest-covered mountainsides. Located inside Fiordland National Park, this place was carved by glaciers during the Ice Age and it feels almost prehistoric. Rudyard Kipling once called it the 8th wonder of the world, and when you see it in person, that honestly doesn't sound exaggerated. Take a boat cruise through the fjord past towering Mitre Peak, spot dolphins and seals swimming beside the boat, or kayak through the mist beneath waterfalls that crash directly into the sea. And when it rains here, which happens a lot, Milford Sound becomes even more dramatic, with thousands of temporary waterfalls appearing across the cliffs. Milford Sound doesn't feel like Earth. Number 3, Auckland. Auckland is New Zealand's biggest city, built between 2 sparkling harbors and surrounded by volcanic hills, beaches, and islands. Climb the Sky Tower for panoramic views over the city and coastline, explore the trendy waterfront neighborhoods packed with restaurants and nightlife, or hop on a ferry to Waiheke Island, famous for vineyards, beaches, and relaxed island vibes just 40 minutes from downtown. What makes Auckland special is how quickly city life turns into nature. One moment you're in a modern skyline filled with cafes and shopping districts, and the next you're hiking volcanic trails or swimming at black sand beaches on the wild west coast. Number 4, Rotorua. Rotorua is unlike anywhere else in New Zealand because the Earth itself feels alive here. The entire region sits on a geothermal hotspot filled with bubbling mud pools, steaming vents, colorful mineral terraces, and geysers that erupt boiling water high into the air. You can literally smell the sulfur before you even arrive. But Rotorua is also one of the best places in the country to experience Maori culture. Visit traditional villages, watch cultural performances, and experience powerful haka dances that connect deeply to New Zealand's identity. And after exploring all day, you can soak in natural hot springs surrounded by forest under the stars. Rotorua is raw, fascinating, and completely unique. Number 5, Christchurch. Christchurch is a city that rebuilt itself into something creative and surprisingly cool after devastating earthquakes reshaped much of its center. Today, modern architecture mixes with historic buildings, street art covers entire walls, and trendy cafes fill the revitalized downtown area. The Avon River winds peacefully through the city while punting boats glide past gardens and willow trees. But Christchurch is also the gateway to the South Island's epic landscapes, from whale watching in Kaikoura to the snow-covered Southern Alps nearby. The city has this calm, resilient energy that makes people stay longer than they planned. Number 6, Hobbiton. Even if you've never watched The Lord of the Rings, Hobbiton feels magical. Located in the green hills of Matamata, this famous movie set was transformed into the peaceful village of the Shire, complete with tiny hobbit holes, colorful gardens, stone bridges, and the legendary Green Dragon Inn. What makes Hobbiton so special is how detailed everything feels. Smoke rises from chimneys, vegetables grow in gardens, and the entire place looks like hobbits genuinely still live there. For movie fans, it's iconic. For everyone else, it's still one of the most charming places in New Zealand. Number 7, Mount Cook National Park.
Mount Cook National Park is home to Aoraki/Mount Cook, the tallest mountain in New Zealand and one of the most stunning alpine regions in the world.
Snow-covered peaks rise above turquoise glacial lakes while hiking trails cut through valleys surrounded by ice and rock. The Hooker Valley Track is one of the most beautiful hikes in the country, leading across swing bridges toward glaciers and mountain views that get more dramatic with every step. At night, the skies here explode with stars because the park sits inside one of the world's largest dark sky reserves. Mount Cook feels massive, silent, and completely untamed.
Number 8, Bay of Islands.
The Bay of Islands is a subtropical paradise made up of more than 140 islands scattered across turquoise water in the far north of New Zealand. This is where you go for sailing, dolphin watching, fishing, and beaches that feel almost untouched. Cruise between hidden coves, snorkel in clear water, or relax in sleepy seaside towns where life moves slowly. The area is also hugely important to New Zealand's history because the Treaty of Waitangi, the country's founding document, was signed here in 1840.
The Bay of Islands combines history, nature, and pure relaxation perfectly.
Number 9, Franz Josef Glacier. Franz Josef Glacier is one of the rare places on Earth where a glacier descends through rainforest almost all the way to sea level. You can take helicopter tours that land directly on the ice, hike through frozen caves and blue crevasses, or simply stand at the viewing areas and watch this enormous river of ice slowly carving through the mountains.
The contrast here is surreal, tropical-looking forest below and ancient ice above.
Few places in the world combine landscapes this dramatically.
And last, number 10, Wellington.
Wellington might be New Zealand's capital city, but it feels more like a creative coastal village built between hills and the sea. Colorful houses climb steep hillsides above the harbor while cafes, bookstores, breweries, and art spaces give the city an energetic, laid-back atmosphere.
The food and coffee scene here is seriously world-class.
Visit Te Papai, New Zealand's incredible National Museum, ride the historic cable car above the city, and walk along the windy waterfront while ferries cross the harbor below. Wellington feels artistic, compact, and full of personality. New Zealand isn't just a country, it's mountains that became fantasy worlds, glowworm caves shining like galaxies underground, and landscapes so cinematic they barely seem possible in real life. Thumbs up if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel guides.